Wilson, coming off a 100-yard performance a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Detroit Lions.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Detroit Lions and the Tennessee Titans. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Norris. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. On the defensive side, here are the starters for Tennessee. They were excellent a week ago in that victory over the Colts.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, the head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to look at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Norris. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18. The numbers for him from a week ago, 16 carries, 75 yards, and a touchdown.
As a good start to the season, they got the win, and they were able to establish a good running game. Nothing that just blew people away, but a nice solid base to get things started, and they expect that to get tuned up and get better as the season moves on.
All right, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 3rd down.
And a manageable third down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start.
All right, here we go. Blue, landed. Blue.
He'll drop to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. He'll get a couple yards on that one. And it'll be 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
So a nice opening drive on the road. You get the 3 points. Part of you wonders if that might hurt them later not getting into the end zone.
Well, the good thing is still first quarter, and they did come out of it with points. In a sense, they can look at it positively and say, hey, we set the pace in this one. I think that's how they'll go about it.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Mariota and the Titans break the huddle. 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Mariota now on 2nd down. Dancing to his left. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Mariota. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the 1st down there, help them relax a little bit.
The numbers for Mixon last week: 13 carries, 116 yards, and a trip to the end zone.
Well, they set a nice tone in week 1. He's among the leading rushers in the league. I think that they continue to feed him the football and continue to establish the running game so they can get the play action and throw the ball deep later on.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to knock that one free.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Throwing again, Mariota on 2nd and 10. And Davis with it left side. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another 1st down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. In for the score. And the Titans have taken a first quarter lead. And Charles, the defender, was there. He just didn't get it.
Sometimes these plays turn into basketball in a sense with 2 guys going up for the football. Which guy's going to box the other away from it and grab it?
Yeah, I know you hear it a lot, but it's just the will to get it, right?
Oh, without a doubt. The will as well as some really nice touch on the ball that was thrown.
And some talent, too. Extra point up and through. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Baker now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on them.
And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Set, 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain. A nickel set shown by the Titans on 3rd down.
Thinking pass.
Now let's go. Blue, landed.
Now back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Two sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return, and it'll be Titan football. Our first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from Green Bay. Early lead in that one for the Packers. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at the 45. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A gain of 6 there on 1st. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Mariota. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And they've got it here with a 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Nixon. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
They run for it with Mixon. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on fourth.
Wow. I'll tell you, he got a good spot on that one. It's 4th and 2, and he might have gotten 2 and an inch, but that's all he needed, and that'll keep the drive moving.
Mariota on first down. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. A second down throw here for Mariota. And he comes back with one complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
From the red zone now, Mariota. That escape, but in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling. One.
Second down, Mariota. And he's got it. That'll put him at an even 50 receiving yards now in this first half. And it's a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Mariota to sneak it. And he will take this one in for a Titans touchdown. Marcus Mariota with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead. And they wasted no time right down near the goal line, and they just sneak it in.
Just do what you need to do. Big guys going up front. Have the field general, the leader, just falling behind him.
Butker now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Here we go. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Here we go now. 3-19.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Walsh. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Lions on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at about the 14. Able to slither by. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Around the NFL, they're in the second quarter at Lambeau. Early lead in that one for the Packers. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. To throw, Mariota. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
On 2nd down, Mariota again. Buying time to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Jarrad Davis leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Third and long here for Mariota. Being chased out left. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. 1st down, Mariota. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Now a 2nd down throw for Mariota. He's going to fire one deep. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Titans. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Titans are going to add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. They'll look to throw now on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Walsh. It's picked up by the Titans, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
One.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got to jump here.
Defense.
So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
Everyone's got 4. One. Watch 36. 36 to Mike. One. Let's go.
Working out of the gun, Mariota. He's going to loft one deep left side. And this is caught. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Marcus Mariota with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Butker now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Time for Antonio Callaway and his crew on offense to take over. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They come after back. I think that's what you need to do.
They run a draw here on second down. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. The Lions on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Now a handoff, Johnson. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for Tennessee. This is taken at the 23. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now Corey Davis and the rest of his offense getting ready for their next drive, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defense, is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
We got three, fellas. We got three.
Mariota to throw it. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. Here's Mariota. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Mariota will need a big play after the sack as the Titans come up 3rd and long.
We got three down.
Now Mariota. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. On 4th down, here's Justin Vogel on to punt it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. So we've reached halftime here in. So I'm waltzing down Main Street, got an umbrella, just a torrential downpour, and I look over, and this guy, stone-faced, wearing a poncho that says, "Don't rain on my parade," and he is just angry. And we got to go. I'll tell you the rest later. Here we go, 3rd quarter. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Mixon with a first down carry. They find some open field here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. 4 down. 3.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Mariota now to throw on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Mariota now. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And this Titans offense continues to pour it on. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And now Mariota and the Titan offense, they're going to line up to go for 2. They just get the play off. Now Mariota. And that is incomplete.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here we go now. Blue landed.
He'll look to throw. And Callaway taking it in left side. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Set. 3-19.
They'll set up to throw. And shedding through the tackle. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
They just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Taken in at the 11. give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at their own 22. Here's Mariota, option left. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you called it the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Left side, it's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They got 29 yards that time. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before that.
Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Back to Mixon on 1st down. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
Must have.
It had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And this Titan offense is running away with this one. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they're looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Now Mariota. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out now come the Lions. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's...
And it's intercepted. Picked off by Dane Cruikshank. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass... Rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
But you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game. Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
On first down, they go option to the right. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The tackle made there by Jared Davis. The Titans on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. The ball still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul-searching on 4th down. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
And the kick by Butker is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. It was Bryce Callahan jarring the ball free defensively. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll drop the throw. He's going to let it fly. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Dane Cruikshank. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Facing this 4th quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock. They know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. They'll start by running the nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play. He got it stripped, but you can see the panic in his face from up here through the helmet. He was able to dive back on it.
A good bit of fortune for him, because oftentimes on a strip sack, when that ball is wrenched out of your grasp, it can go in any different direction. It can go way away from you. In this case, it didn't matter. He was able to get on it.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Shakes off the sack. Steps away to his left. Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Tennessee, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.